All right, welcome to therapy. I'm Veronica and I will be your therapist this evening. We're just going to go over an assessment so I can gather some information about you and what your presenting concerns are. First, I just want to start out and let you know that everything in here stays in here. It's all confidential. The only reason why I would have to break any confidentiality is if you were having some harm to yourself or others, if there was any evidence of child or elderly abuse, and if I was court ordered to do so. But otherwise, everything that's said in here stays in here, and everything will be very confidential.
Okay.
Just want you to know that. And then also, we can just get right into it. First, I'm going to ask just some basic information. So, what is your age?
I am 26.
All right, and then female. Do you identify as female as well?
Yes.
Okay, and let me make sure that I don't have to do any other information. Okay, and then are you a student? Are you in school? Are you working?
I'm working. I'm a pharmacist.
That seems like a pretty fun job.
It's pretty stressful, especially right now with the
Right.
pandemic. I work with patients who have like chronic illnesses. So like I help with them figure out their medication, like diabetes and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. So what brings you to seek treatment?
I've just been feeling really stressed out lately and just like not really happy with anything. Just feeling like, I don't know, like I just don't have a lot of energy for things. Like I just have like a lot of racing thoughts, a lot of things going on in my mind, and I can't focus on the things that I need to do. Like it's gotten to a point where even like sometimes my coworkers are telling me that I seem distracted or like maybe short with patients that I have, or like my mom has been bugging me about like working out more, and I just feel like I can't focus on anything and just anxious about, I don't know, just anxious about like things that are coming around in my life right now. And I just bought a house and I have a new dog, and I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot that I don't know, that I can't find the energy to do and can't be focused on. So just feeling a little overwhelmed with everything.
All right. So first I want to talk about your lack of energy. So when you say lack of energy, is it just kind of like you're always tired, or do you like have very low motivation? Is it hard to get out of bed in the morning?
Yeah, I'm not really sleeping that well, so I think maybe it's like hard to get out of bed in the morning. And I like bought a house, I moved, and now I have to get up earlier for work, and I'm like anxious. I'm like a little nervous to drive and on the expressway, and so I have to like get up earlier so I can actually get to work on time. And so I think partially it's like that. I'm not sleeping very well, and then like by the time I get home from work, I just feel like so drained from like all the interactions and stuff. I just sit on the couch and just feel like I guess motivated is probably the right word. I'm just like not motivated to do anything when I get back from work.
All right. So work kind of drains you a lot. So do you think work is kind of like your primary stressor?
I just get so where I'm worried about my patients, and I'm worried about like making sure that they are getting what they need, and that I'm giving them the right information and giving them like the right dosage for everything. And then also like we got a new boss, and with the pandemic, and I just bought the house, so I like really need my job, and I know that like hospitals are letting people go right now sometimes, like with like the type of work I do, because it's not necessarily like essential, and or cutting hours. And so I just I guess it is a pretty big stressor. Work is.
Right. I hear that it's weighing very heavy on your shoulders and it's causing you a lot of conflicts in your life right now.
Yeah. I'd say that's true. I feel like it's like in everything that I'm doing, like I'm trying to be excited about like my house, but then in the back of my mind, I'm always like worried, like, well, how am I going to pay for it if I don't? Like, I'm
Right.
single, so it's my only, it's just my income, and so like, how am I going to pay for it if I don't?
Right.
If I don't have a job?
Does that kind of make you feel a little bit helpless or hopeless at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, I watched my family when I was growing up, like, we didn't have a ton of money, and so I think I get like I feel a little helpless when I'm worried that I might not have like a secure income. And, my mom pushed me a lot to like do a job that made money. And I don't know. Sometimes I think like maybe it doesn't fit my like personality all that well, but like I thought that I would have like a steady income. And so I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like a little helpless. Like it's just me and
Right.
I rely on myself. So,
Right. Right. So diving a little bit deeper into those symptoms that you were having, the lack of energy and lack of motivation, or do you ever have feelings of worthlessness at all?
sometimes I think like I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly it. I think
Mm-hmm.
like I still feel worthwhile like at my job. Like I know that my patients really value me and I play a big role there. And, I have friends that I see and that I know I have good friendships with. And, I really, my mom is always like important to me or like important person in my life. And
Right.
I don't know if like worthlessness, that's sorry, it's not a hard word to say.
A little bit, yeah.
Is exactly right. Maybe more like
Right.
hopeless.
Hopeless. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said, that you want to be excited for this new house and you like going to work still, but do you ever feel like you're kind of like losing interest in like the things that you used to be interested in?
Yeah, I think I just like pharmacy school takes so long. I think like
Right.
I haven't been doing it that long. And when I was in school, it was like school, 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 school. Like
Right.
it was a lot of the same thing. And I didn't really, everything I did was around school. Like even I like volunteered so I could get a better placement for residency. And like, I think that now that I'm out, because I've only really been out like 2-ish years. And so now that I'm out of school, it's just like I don't even know what I like to do when I have like free time, I guess.
Right. So you kind of like spent your whole life in school and now that you're kind of actually working, it's weird and kind of different. Kind of an
Yeah,
adjustment.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely an adjustment. And like I was good at school, like I knew how to do school. And it's just weird a little bit being like a little bit of the unknown, just,
Right.
school, what you need to do to like get a grade, especially
Hmm.
with like the type of work school I did. Like it's science, it's really straightforward. And
Right. Right.
now it's like I don't know exactly know what I need to do to please my boss, or like each situation is different, each patient is different, and so it's like harder. I don't know, it's not as routine.
Right. Definitely understandable. So now I kind of want to touch on how you were saying that you kind of racing thoughts and you're always thinking about like the future and getting overwhelmed. Does that kind of affect your sleeping or your concentration?
Yeah, probably my sleeping. I guess I hadn't really thought about that, but like when I laid down to go to bed, it's kind of hard for me to like calm down and like
Hmm. Right.
actually be in a restful mindset, I guess. I try to exercise to like make my body more tired, or like
Hmm.
I've tried like a meditation app before, but I just
Okay.
like can't really get into the groove of that. So it's, yeah,
Right.
I just keep thinking about all the things I have to do.
Right.
Like I know I need to get my homeowner's insurance figured out and like just like all the things that I need to do.
Hmm. Right. And then does that kind of go with like difficulty concentrating because you have all these things to do?
Yeah, I think like when I am at work, I do feel like I'm focused because like I know like if I don't focus, it could be really bad for like a
Right.
patient. But
Right.
like anytime it's not like patient related, like sometimes like random paperwork we have to do or like just stuff for
Hmm.
my own self, yeah, I would say that it's harder for me to focus.
Right. And then do you ever feel so anxious to the point where you can't breathe and your chest hurts and it kind of feels like you're having a heart attack almost?
Not recently. In
Okay.
school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just like such a lot of expectations.
Right.
So like especially around tests or like practical exams, like yeah, I would feel like that.
Very anxious about that.
Yeah, but it hasn't really been true so much lately.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that the last time that kind of occurred was when you were in school?
Yeah,
Okay.
or like my residency, so like 2 years ago-ish.
Okay. All right. And then I do want to ask kind of about like your family history and if you ever experienced any trauma or anything.
Um, I don't think trauma really, I
Okay.
no.
Does anybody ever in your family ever suffer from mental illness?
Um, my grandpa, I mean, I don't think he'd call himself an alcoholic, but I would say he's probably an
Okay.
alcoholic. Um, and my dad has like a bit of a temper, but nobody goes to like therapy or anything.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. And then what about for you for substance use? Do you drink alcohol or smoke
Yeah,
cigarettes?
like socially, I don't smoke.
Okay,
Um, but I would say socially, I
socially.
guess. I don't know. I feel like that's so different for each person, but like I have wine, you know,
Right.
throughout the week.
And do you ever see that as a problem or that you're doing that excessively?
I don't think so. I'm usually like
Okay.
with other people if I'm drinking a lot. So I guess for
Right.
me that means I think it's okay, it's just like social.
Right. Right. And then how about any other drugs?
No, because I could lose my license. So
Right. Definitely. As a pharmacist, I'm sure. Okay. And then do you have any history of like suicidal ideation at all?
no,
Okay.
no, yeah. I think for me, like I don't think I've ever really thought about it. And if I had
Hmm.
like, yeah, I don't know. I think I couldn't do that to like my family. So
Right, right. Okay. That sounds good. And you say that you didn't have any trauma in your childhood, any trauma in your adulthood at all?
no, I mean, no. What do
Hmm.
you mean by like trauma, I guess?
I guess, I don't know, did you ever experience anything that you felt like your life was threatened or witness anything that
No, nothing
just,
like that. No.
okay. All right, just making sure. And then I just want to get into some other questions. Do you have any nutritional problems at all?
No, I always feel like I gain weight really easily,
Hmm.
but I don't know. Like my mom really focused on like that when we were younger, like being healthy and being thin, and so like I feel like I try to eat pretty healthy.
Okay. Okay. And is there anything that you don't like about yourself at all? If that makes sense?
I mean, yeah, that definitely makes sense. I wish I wasn't so like uptight. Like I feel like I
Hmm.
get really uptight, like really, I don't know, like I just sometimes I just like want to relax with my friends, but like I can't do it because I just get so I'm worried about the dog at home or I'm like worried about going to work the
Right.
next day or like I'm worried about whatever. So I just wish I could like be a little bit more relaxed.
Right.
Um, I feel like I could just do more things if I was more relaxed. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. So, like the worries that you face and the anxiety that you have on a daily basis is excessive and it kind of has an impact on your life right now.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely makes everything feels like it makes everything harder.
Right. Okay. And then related to that, do you ever feel like it's too much where you can't handle it?
I think for like my personal life sometimes I just like my friends will want to do something and I just like won't do it because I just am like, I can't, I just don't want to deal with it all. I just can't deal with it all. But I always go to work. And I always try to do my best at work.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes I spend so much of my energy at work that it's just like I can't possibly deal with it when I go home.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm hearing is work kind of runs your life right now. All of your energy is really put into work. So then by the time you have your personal life, you don't have any energy to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, let me see if I have any other questions for you. One more question. Did you ever have like a history of any psychological issues or any history of treatment before this?
In college, like we all had to like go, no, we didn't have to, but like recommended we went to talk to somebody. So I did 1 or 2 sessions, but it was just like hard to fit in my schedule. So not really anything.
Right. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Well, I think I do have everything that I need from you right now. And it does look like our time is coming to a close. But thank you so much for coming. And moving forward, we will just assess this intake form for you and then just see what's going on and what the best next steps are for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about before we leave?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and we will see you again soon.
Sounds good.